Hello everyone, welcome to our news channel. Here you are always well informed. I ask you to subscribe, leave your like and thank you. Robert Bowers, the gunman who killed 11 worshippers and wounded 6 others at a Pittsburgh synagogue in 2018 in the deadliest ever attack on Jewish people in the United States, was unanimously sentenced to death by a federal jury on Wednesday. It's the first federal death penalty imposed under the Biden administration, which has put a moratorium on executions. The decision to sentence the gunman to death had to be unanimous. Otherwise, Bowers would have been sentenced to life in prison without parole. Jurors spent just over 10 hours deliberating over the past 2 days. They asked 2 questions of the court, one to examine the guns used in the shooting, and another to ask for a copy of documents in evidence about the gunman's family history. The death sentence represents the end of a saga that began on October 27, 2018, when Bowers burst into the Tree of Life synagogue and shot people with an AR-15 style rifle. At the time, the synagogue was hosting 3 congregations, Tree of Life, Dor Hadash and New Light, for weekly Shabbat services. Those killed include a 97-year-old great-grandmother, an 87-year-old accountant and a couple married at the synagogue more than 60 years earlier. Of the 6 wounded survivors, 4 were police officers who responded to the scene. 8 people who were inside the building escaped unharmed. Bowers, 50, was convicted on June 16 of all 63 counts against him, including hate crime charges. 22 of those counts were capital offenses. The jury further found he was eligible for the death penalty on July 13, moving the trial to a 3rd and final sentencing stage. Jury rejects defense's mental health arguments. The trial's final phase focused on aggravating and mitigating factors that potentially apply to Bowers. Prosecutors argued Bowers carried out the killings due to his hatred toward Jewish people and highlighted testimony from victims' family members talking about their loved ones as well as Bowers' lack of remorse about his actions. He turned an ordinary Jewish Sabbath into the worst anti-Semitic mass shooting in U.S. history, and he is proud of it, U.S. Attorney Eric Olshan said in closing arguments Monday. Bowers' defense emphasized his difficult childhood and mental health issues, including what they say is a delusional belief system and diagnoses of schizophrenia and epilepsy. You've held Rob Bowers accountable. You've convicted him of 63 counts. You've found him eligible for jury sentencing. Now we ask you to choose life and not death, defense attorney Judy Clark said Monday. The jury unanimously found that all 5 of the prosecution's aggravating factors were proven. The defense put forth 115 mitigating factors, and while the jury agreed with some of the more factual elements, they rejected the defense's key arguments. For example, none of the jurors found that he suffers from delusions, that he is a person with schizophrenia, or that he committed the offense under mental or emotional disturbance. Further, none of the jurors agreed that he was a model pretrial inmate or that he behaved respectfully in court. In court, Bowers was bent over, looking intently at a piece of paper as the judge read through the jury's lengthy verdict form. He had no noticeable reaction to the sentence. Judge Robert Colville appeared emotional while thanking the jury after the decision. He said he has thanked hundreds of jurors with a similar speech over the years, but I've never delivered it with as much sincerity as I did just now. In comments outside court, Olshan praised the jury's decision but noted it would not change what happened that day. It cannot bring back any of the 11 victims. No verdict can set things right or restore what was lost that morning, he said. Clark declined to comment to CNN while departing court. Bowers' formal sentencing is set to take place Thursday, and some of the victims' families are expected to speak. This is the 2nd federal death penalty case to be prosecuted under the administration of President Joe Biden, who had criticized the death penalty on the campaign trail. In the first such case, concerning a terrorist who drove a U-Haul truck into cyclists and pedestrians on a New York City bike path, the jury failed to reach a unanimous decision, leading to a sentence of life without parole. Both cases were holdovers from the Trump administration. Victims' families thanked jury and prosecution. The 11 people killed in the attack were Irving Younger, 69, Melvin Wax, 87, Rose Mallinger, 97, the married couple Bernice and Sylvan Simon, 84 and 86, Dr. Jerry Rabinowitz, 66, Joyce Feinberg, 75, Richard Gottfried, 65, Daniel Stein, 71, and the brothers Cecil and David Rosenthal, 59 and 54. On Wednesday afternoon, about 30 people connected to the victims gathered at the Jewish Community Center of Greater Pittsburgh and spoke about their reactions to the trial and the verdict. Several said they appreciated that the trial put together the entirety of the story for the public. Had we not had this trial, the deeds of this criminal would have been glossed over in the annals of history, Audrey Glickman, a survivor of the attack, said. We now know almost the full story. The family of Mallinger and her daughter Andrea Wedner issued a statement thanking the jury, prosecutors, and others involved in the trial. Although we will never attain closure from the loss of our beloved Rose Mallinger, we now feel a measure of justice has been served, the family said in a statement. This sentence is a testament to our justice system and a message to all that this type of heinous act will not be tolerated. Returning a sentence of death is not a decision that comes easy, but we must hold accountable those who wish to commit such terrible acts of anti-Semitism, hate, and violence. Rabbi Jeffrey Myers of the Tree of Life congregation, who survived the attack, said the jury decision represents the end of one chapter and the start of another. Now that the trial is nearly over and the jury has recommended a death sentence, it is my hope that we can begin to heal and move forward, he said in a statement. As we do, I have my faith, bolstered by the embrace and respect with which my community has been treated by our government and our fellow citizens. For this and the seriousness with which the jury took its duty, I remain forever grateful. The leaders of the New Light congregation acknowledged many of their members preferred the gunman spend the rest of his life in prison rather than receive the death penalty. Still, co-presidents Stephen Cohen and Barbara Kaplan agreed with the government's decision. Life in prison without parole would allow the shooter to celebrate his deed for many years, they wrote. New Light congregation accepts the jury's decision and believes that, as a society, we need to take a stand that this act requires the ultimate penalty under the law. Squirrel Hill Stands Against Gun Violence, a gun safety advocacy group founded by 3 members of Dor Hadash after the shooting, issued a statement calling out political leaders. We hold responsible, not simply the shooter, a damaged and angry man who should never have had access to deadly weapons, but those politicians and legislators who have fought against common-sense gun laws, having seen the overwhelming evidence that they would save lives, but too cowardly or too financially vested with the gun lobby to do the right thing, the group said.